Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. The racism, the microaggression that has been going on, that my people are experiencing this period is second to none. Now, you and I remember that I was screaming in January, February that I know that, racism is nothing to hide about, but the kind of influx that, the kind of racism that we see is actually outrageous. And it looks like it is not stopping. It is now white people making it look like, I am not a racist. I am white, but I am not non-practicing. Which one is not practicing? When did that word even start? I don't know when they started you, because every day they wake up, they come up with new words. They are not practicing. You cannot detach yourself, because at this point in time, we don't even know who is who. Will black people wake up every day to so many horrible things? Now, let me tell you something. One of the problems that we are having, like especially in America, is that the poor white people have refused to acknowledge that they are going through what black people and other groups are going through. They have helped the rich people to execute all their plans. They actually use them to execute all the plans and then take them back to square one, and they continue from where they stop. Not until you all wake up, you are going to continue to suffer. Let's get into this video.
You don't have to look back to Nazi Germany. You don't have to go back that far. Jim Crow laws were in the 1960s in America. And I'm watching this video of Miss Maria Spooner, who is a black woman, at the YMCA, where a bunch of fucking white people called the cops because they believed a white woman deserved a seat over a black woman. Additionally, you look at the fucking racist gerrymandering that has happened in Texas, and you see the continued violence from the cops towards the black community. Look at the National Guard being deployed armed in Washington, D.C. Redlining still exists in this country. Trump is trying to get rid of mail-in votes. Like, we don't have to do the Nazi shit. We don't have to go back that far. Jim Crow laws were 60 years ago. This is who we are as America. A bunch of white people are just figuring this out. The black community, black women specifically, told us this was coming with a second Trump presidency. Additionally, we have concentration camps that they're using for immigrant families in America. They are planning on deploying more National Guard across 19 states. Sounds like Chicago is up next. And see, when we have had a lot of conversations with other white people over the past 10 years about how dangerous and racist and violent Trump is, there was massive pushback. There's no way, you can't prove it. All these other fucking excuses. I mean, the proof has been there for way beyond 10 years when it comes to Trump. But he ran this campaign recently, specifically regarding the immigrant crisis that he has manufactured in order to fuel the fires of racial tension in America. It couldn't have been more obvious. 3 out of 5 white men wanted it. 1 out of 2 white women wanted it. And so here we are. We don't have to go back to Nazi Germany. America's been this violent since the creation of this country. This country, America, is built on genocide of the indigenous peoples. This country was built by the means of chattel slavery. And not shit has changed. It just morphs, right? It just adjusts with the time. It's deeply rooted in policy, in laws. And they tried to hide it just well enough for white people to not see it blatantly, even though it was clear to everyone else. And now that it's in our fucking faces, there's a lot of white people that are super fucking surprised. Oh my God, I can't believe it's that bad. It's always been this bad. Always. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. And Royal Star has talked about this on here forever. Nobody can tell which white person is safe. Doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you land on. I've seen white communist leftists talking fucking insane towards black women on this app. I've seen white progressives, Democrats, liberals get their feelings hurt and lash out on a gentle pushback from black people on this app. We know the far right and the right constantly prove their racism daily. And then we have a whole bunch of other white people that are just quiet, scared, don't want to say anything, which again further perpetuates the problem. This is our reckoning as white people. I will keep saying this over and over and over again. We are now looking at ourselves as white people in the mirror and seeing the only reflection is violent white supremacy.
So I'm going through my head today, right, connecting some dots. Bam, I'm going to share these dots with you, right? I've been dealing with racists my whole life, right? To the point where I'm like, I laugh at it. I'm almost numb to it just because of, not like direct, you're a nigger racism, you know what I'm saying? But the microaggressions that we see time and time again, right? Or some extreme situations where it is the, you're a nigger, right? Seen it my whole life. My parents' statement that racism is everywhere is definitely true. I used to think that once I moved out of the South, there wouldn't be no more racist shit. Wrong, okay? Racism is everywhere, right? And one thing that really bothers me about racist people, aside from the obvious, is this pussy approach to it. Like, have you heard the term throw your set up, rep your hood, you know what I'm saying? Stand on fucking business, you know what I'm saying? But with racists, all of their actions, right, allude to racism, suggest racism, confirm racism, right? Everything they say and do is in line with what a racist would say and do, right? But then every time you bring up race, it's a problem, right? They swear up and down they're not racist. They have 1, 2, 3 black friends that are just fucking coons in reality. They'll never just come out and say, you know what, yeah, I'm a racist. It's uncommon for people to just come out and say it because we know what the response to hearing that somebody a racist is, which is being canceled and everything after that, right? As it fucking should be, lose your job, shunned socially, everything it should be, right? So they can't just come out and say I'm a racist. That's when we see people like Lily Gaddis do it. We're like, oh, she's so fucking stupid. She's cooked. 6 months to a year from now, when the hype of all this blows over, she'll never be able to get a job anywhere. She's an open racist. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the ones that won't just come out and say it like Lily did, right? We see that same kind of pussy shit all throughout the federal government. I know that was a long intro to get to the point, but we see the same shit here. I would much rather fight against the racist that just came out and said, yeah, I'm a fucking racist. I don't like blacks, minorities, none of that shit. I'm a racist. You know what I'm saying? I would much rather that than to have somebody do some clearly racist shit. But then every time you ask them the question, or they're in front of a camera, or they're in the spotlight, it's, oh no, I'm not a racist. I did that for this reason. I said that for this reason. Yada, 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 right? I think that Neon streamer, if I got it correctly, he's dealing with all the racist shit he said in the past right now, you know what I mean? I see this in MAGA on a daily basis, and I realize today that that is one of the main sources of my frustration with them. I would almost rather them just come out and say, yeah, we're here to take over America, get rid of the Democrats, rig the elections, fuck the two-party system. Any American that's against what we're doing, we're going to lie and spin the story like they're anti-American. Yes, we have similarities to Hitler and Nazi Germany. Yes, 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 yes. I would just love for them to come out and say what the fuck it is instead of being professional gaslighters. And every time you say something to them, like with DC, for example, oh, you're pro-crime now? Oh, with immigration, oh, you're pro-violent criminals coming into the country and not doing things by our beautiful, perfect, flawless immigration process that's so convenient financially and time-wise? You got, like, I can talk about the immigration shit all day long. My point is that I hope that millions and 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 millions of Americans are aware of and privy to and smart enough to catch that bullshit as they say it, because it's only going to become more frequent, and to immediately replace it with the truth. Right? Let me put it this way, right? In a relationship, right? Man and a woman, man and man, woman and woman, doesn't really matter, right? In a relationship, right? You want to prove to your partner that you're loyal, right? You all have mutually agreed to be exclusive, not entertain or see other people. You want to prove that you are loyal, can be loyal, will be loyal, right? And then the example I'll use is, let's say your girl goes through your phone, finds a bunch of other bitches on your phone, or vice versa, whatever the situation may be, you're caught, right? Do you think your partner would accept the answer of, oh no, I wasn't cheating, I wasn't flirting or entertaining other people, like that wasn't me. I was just flirting and talking to those girls to see if they would respect our relationship or not. I was just entertaining those other people outside of our agreement to be in an exclusive relationship because I just wanted to see if they would respond in a similar manner so that I could block them, because they just proved to me that they don't respect our relationship. Do you see how I did that bullshit for our benefit, baby? Do you see that? Do you see how stupid that sounds? But that's the same shit we're dealing with in the literal federal government, right? Reports not only show that crime is decreasing, they also don't show that it's more rampant than ever. National Guard has to come in. Pete Hegseth just gave them the authority to be armed. So armed U.S. military to take back control of D.C., right? On top of saying that you're sending that same military force to New York and whatever other city he mentioned, right? And their reasoning for it is, oh, well, there's just so much crime. That's why the majority of the people we've arrested are homeless or immigrants or black people. There's just so much crime and we're here to clean up the city. Hey, you can't go round up immigrants and throw them into inhumane deportation centers. It looks a lot like the fucking Holocaust. Find a better way. Oh, we're not doing this to normal, respectful human beings. We're doing this to violent gang members, MS-13 members that came here illegally only. So when you see ICE in the news or in your town, don't freak out. Don't be anti-American and protest. We're doing this for your safety and the good of America. Do you see how they constantly spin it? They will never come out and say what the fuck it is. Oh, we need those 5 additional seats from Texas because we know nobody's gonna fucking vote for us. We know we're pissing off everybody. We have to cheat to win. They can't come out and say that, so they want to pull up any faults they can on the Democrats, whether it's from last year or fucking 12 years ago, to try to distract you. Just like what they're trying to do with the Epstein files, right? They want to distract you to look at other things instead of paying attention to the fucking Epstein files, right? So if I can get wildly pissed off that a racist won't just come out and say that they're fucking racist so that we can continue accordingly and deal with their dumbass, right? Myself and everybody else included that has a similar perspective or mindset to me, right? You should have that same fury with MAGA when they say shit like, oh, jobs aren't going down. The unemployment rate isn't increasing. Look at this brand new data from last week, after we fired the person who gave y'all a report that showed that I'm not the best president America's ever had. Like, we need to call that bullshit out in the moment when it happens, because it's fucking dangerous. To see the president of the United States not hear the American people's concern about armed military forces at the nation's capital for no other reason than some bullshit crime report Trump made up as an excuse to fortify the city, right? When we're seeing that, and then they extend that plan to say, oh yeah, the other cities are up next, we're not being loud enough, because that is armed military and police action, military and police force in DC based off of a lie. The National Guard has been mobilized based off a lie from the Trump administration. Let's not forget the almost 60 white people from South Africa they brought over here earlier in the year because of a fake ass white genocide in South Africa. I guarantee you Elon Musk had something to do with those people coming over here from South Africa, because you don't just save a little over 50 people only from an entire region of the world that's experiencing a racial genocide. You don't just go and grab 50 something people, right? Those people were hand selected by Elon Musk, right? We're seeing it every single day. A lie, action, and we lose our democracy more.
You can't call yourself a non-practicing white and then get pissed the fuck off when a black person says that's not a thing. You can't call yourself a non-practicing white when all the motherfucking Klan members that are Trump supporters walking around everywhere in this country look just like me and you. It doesn't matter if you say you're non-practicing, because you can throw it in a comment. You can say that shit on the internet. But when you're walking around, when I'm walking around, nobody can tell the fucking difference. This is just, in my opinion, another way to escape accountability as white people try to soothe ourselves by trying to step into this individualism and say, well, not me. 3 out of 5 white men, 1 out of 2 white women voted for this Klan shit. And yes, I'm a human being that happens to be white, but I also understand what that entails within the structure of society, within white supremacy, and I cannot escape that. I have to address it and then operate out of my humanity and not look for validation from these other communities outside of whiteness and be like, oh, I'm a good one, I promise. Because I've seen time and time again, especially the last couple days, white people on the left that are like, well, I'm trying my best to do something and I'm about to give up because apparently it's not good enough. What the fuck do you mean, give up? That's not an option. See, when shit gets hard, a lot of white people just aren't built for this shit. A lot of you want to return back to being comfortable. You want to go back into being quiet. You don't want to take accountability. You don't want to listen to and learn from other communities that are not white when they challenge you, when they challenge me. But you can't say, I'm a non-practicing white and lose your shit when somebody calls you out on whatever, because then you're just proving the point that you are indeed a practicing white.
This is all I got from this video. To be fair, there is nothing like democracy in United States as I speak to you now, because democracy is already far gone. Americans are living in fascism as it stands. And the reality is that they know that they are racist, but they are not going to accept it. They will not acknowledge it. You know, I saw a video of Donald Trump saying that, people are saying that he is autocratic, that he is a dictator. Black people are saying that he doesn't like them. But do you like black people? You don't like black people. It's obvious. The things you do shows. We don't need you to say it. But we know. I saw a video of him saying that as it stands, it is actually an autocratic regime at this point in time. The racism that has been oozing out these days, I remember saying something after they won the election. What I said was that I've been saying that I know there is racism, but I don't know what I am expecting in 2025. And in January, it looks like there was a max influx to whatever that has been going on. And it was like, I added to you guys, just go and berate the seas to people. The racism that I've been saying towards my people, I don't even know how to describe it, because I bring them here on daily basis. And the worst is that they are proud. They are proud racist. Not until something humbles them. Like so far, I've been seeing them humbled. Some of them are crying on how they can't even afford gas. Some of them are crying on how their spouses are being deported who voted for the same people. They are crying for the same people that voted. I see people saying, does it mean that it's not affected? Black people are also being affected. But then right from the onset, because this has always been their life. This is what they've been. This is how you all have treated them all days, all years, all decades. Nothing different. But now we understand that there is more to it. Like, you guys pushed more to it, and they are experiencing so much racism. And then somebody would tell me that stop talking about racism. It is going to go away. How is it going away? Let me understand. Make me understand why people do not care. And sincerely speaking, they do not care. As long as it's not affecting them, even when it's affecting them, even when they are dying, they know that it's going really, really bad. They still do not care. That is how bad it is. But the poor people are experiencing it because they thought, I don't know, when you think you have privilege because of, your skin color and all that, you think it should be you will be protected. Poor white people have helped rich white people to achieve all the horrible bad things that they want to achieve. And they are still poor like me. Yes, I am poor. Don't look at me like I am poor. I am very poor. Yes. They are still poor out there. Not until you all wake up. The problem is that some people have refused to wake up. Some people have refused to acknowledge that what is happening to me is also happening to them. I am using me as example. I'm not saying what my people are going through is also what they are going through. And not until they decide to wake up. If you do not wake up, if you do not stand against all these things, you all will continue to experience it. And it will even be worse because you all do not have survival instincts. Some people, it has been in their blood to survive. They've been surviving all time, all day, all year. So what are you going to do about all these things happening? Some of you are saying, I am white, but you are not practicing. What the hell do you mean that you are not practicing white? I understand some want to detach, but how am I supposed? It's just like when after the election, they said they are going to have blue bracelet. So you know who is who and who is not who. How am I supposed to know who is who and who is not who? How exactly? It is bad at this point in time, and it is very bad. I am going to draw the curtain here, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.